Let's head into this newscast with the latest coming in on India and China border standoff. As according to the sources, the National Security Advisor to the Prime Minister of India, Ajit Doval, held talks with the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. And both the sides have now agreed to the restoration of peace at the border. The representatives of both nations had an in-depth exchange of views over a virtual meet. The latest sources say that both India and China have agreed to not take any unilateral action to harm the border peace. The diplomatic and military officials will continue to hold talks and ensure stepwise de-escalation. Earlier, we had learned that the Chinese troops have pulled back from the site of the June 15 violent clashes with the Indian Army at Galwan Valley in eastern Ladakh. Now remember, WION World is One broke this story first. According to sources, the senior army officials from the Indian side confirmed that a physical verification had also been conducted to ascertain the Chinese pullback. Temporary structures are being removed by both the sides currently. Indian Army sources have revealed that Chinese heavy armoured vehicles are still present in depth areas in Galwan River area and that the Indian side will continue to monitor the situation with caution. Remember, last month, WION broke the news that India and China had begun disengagement at 3 flash points along the line of actual control. The disengagement happened after military-level talks between the two sides had taken place. Sources also told WION that the situation will now be verified on the ground over a period of time. Relations between New Delhi and Beijing hit rock bottom after clashes between Indian and Chinese troops on June 15th took place. The face-off resulted in casualties on both the sides. Even that clash on the 15th of June happened after Indian troops went to forward locations to check whether China had pulled back after agreeing to do the same at military-level talks. Now, Indian forces discovered that China had not kept its word and clashes broke out in the resulting standoff, resulting in 20 Indian casualties and more than 35 Chinese casualties, according to American intel reports. The pullback by Chinese troops now at Galwan Valley is a result of intense diplomatic military engagement and contacts in the past 48 hours. These meetings follow Prime Minister Modi's visit to Leh, where a decisive and firm message was sent out. Sources add that India's responsible stance and messaging at the LAC has been globally recognized. Those invested in India-China relationship in Beijing are also of the opinion that the present standoff should be resolved. India has sent out a decisive message that national security is paramount and that New Delhi is not prepared to compromise on national security. Remember, China had earlier changed its own position on the LAC and had claimed sovereignty of the entire Galwan Valley. Indian Ministry of External Affairs had rejected Chinese claims, calling them untenable. Now, Indian side will continue to maintain vigilance and verify Chinese pullback over a period of time. China has confirmed the drawback, saying that it is taking steps to disengage and de-escalate.
Chinese and Indian troops on June the 30th held commander-level talks. The two sides continue to work to implement consensus reached at the two previous round of talks. There's progress made on frontline troops taking effective measures to disengage and ease the tensions.
Meanwhile, India has almost 30,000 additional troops at forward locations along the line of actual control in Ladakh. The Indian Army is now going to place an emergency order for extreme cold weather tents for the soldiers along the border. The Army is also going to Excalibur ammunition for its ultralight howitzers and several other types of high-end equipment from Russia and other global suppliers.